The Commonwealth Affirmation. We affirm that every person possesses unique worth and dignity. We affirm our respect for nature and that we will be stewards of the earth by caring for every part of it and for it as a whole. We affirm our belief in justice for everyone and peace among peoples and nations. Joining together in kinship and affinity, in diversity and unity, as members of a worldwide family of nations, we build on shared inheritance. We cooperate with mutual respect and goodwill to deliver a common future for the good of all. Through Commonwealth connection, we learn from one another and innovate to transform our communities, our nations, and our world.
I was walking down the beach one day, sun shining, heat rising on the murky waters laid before me. A raised step over the waste laid bare. I considered how fair it is, the damage we cause with no fault. A plastic package drifts effortlessly and lands with grace upon the sand. A hand in which I had no input, but I can feel the devastation implied. The extinction of our friends, our forest, our planet raises its thoughts in my mind. All of which are only made to serve one purpose, the human race, or so many would exclaim. We are the ones who should change and transform. We are the ones who are ashamed. So we should all come together, so we may ascertain how our evolution may align to the needs of each other, of all and of planet, to ensure it all works as designed. Protecting the natural resources we have, with which our longevity relies, must be of paramount importance to us, for it won't just be us who suffers infliction, but it'll be our planet that dies. Let us increase our trade and support one another. Let us connect and define how to live, based on our understanding of the damage we cause. It is not for the planet, but us who must give.
Today we would like to take part in Fly a Flag for the Commonwealth and celebrate Commonwealth Day. The Fly a Flag for the Commonwealth initiative is again catching the imagination of thousands of participants from all walks of life, inspiring them to join with others throughout the Commonwealth. I'd like to read out a message from the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, QC, Secretary-General of the Commonwealth of Nations. Too often, too many of us think we are powerless. This is particularly true in the face of seemingly unsurmountable challenges, such as climate change or devastating events like the global pandemic. Especially in our current forced isolation and separation from each other, it can be too easy to forget our common connections or long bonds of friendship and family, or to believe that our power, our ability to influence the world around us, is too small or insufficient. But this isn't true. This year, Commonwealth Day is on the same date as International Women's Day. This is very fitting, particularly considering the pioneering leadership given over many decades by the Commonwealth collectively and by our member states on pushing progress to equal participation for women in the social, economic and political lives of our communities and countries. And this year we have seen women across the Commonwealth rise up and lead us all in our fight against COVID-19 and in preparing our countries and communities to recover from the many devastating consequences of this pandemic. Women, despite the immensity of the issues we have faced, are rising to these challenges as leaders across our countries, our communities and our homes. Women are demonstrating strong leadership on the front line of the pandemic, from healthcare to education to science, where they have led the race to create the vaccine we need to beat COVID. I know that despite our challenges, the bonds of our Commonwealth family are just as real, strong and vibrant as they ever were, and just as strong as the many women who have risen to meet the challenges of the pandemic, and just as powerful. And the year ahead is, I believe, a year of hope, opportunity and progress for our Commonwealth family. Progress as our leaders meet to tackle issues like climate change, as we look to the international COP26 meetings later this year to build on our Commonwealth Blue Charter, which works to protect our oceans and recognises that we will only be safe if we protect our planet and use its resources responsibly. It is only through wise and sustainable stewardship of our world and its bounty that we will safeguard the health of humanity. Progress on our push across all our member states for more inclusive economic development and equitable trade to support the good jobs and sustainable economic growth that must underpin our shared prosperity. Progress as we continue to advocate on behalf of small states, who make up such a large part of our family, and whose interests we are all committed to representing, because our vision for equality has always been based upon everything having a voice and a seat at the table, no matter their size. That is why so much of our work has been focused on making sure those voices are heard, such as through practical support, like our joint office at the United Nations, providing a permanent representation for those small states who want it, and our Climate Finance Access Hub, which is working to make sure that small states are able to access the funds they need to respond to the very real challenges they face in tackling climate change. Our recent work to highlight urgent health issues, such as equal access for small and developing states to the vaccines that we hope will enable us all to return to normal. We are also committed to making progress in ensuring the human rights of all our citizens are respected, and that the values of democracy and the rule of law that are so central to our founding charter and our values are upheld. And progress in our relentless drive to end domestic violence and sexual assault throughout our Commonwealth Says No More campaign. We know that women have borne the brunt of the shocking rise in domestic and gender-based violence during this pandemic. Our Commonwealth Says No More campaign is mobilising action to make our homes and communities the places of safety that they ought to be, free from fear of physical or psychological harm. So while the challenges may seem insurmountable alone, I know that as a Commonwealth family, though we may be apart, we stand together, united in purpose. We are 2.4 billion people across 54 countries, and all of us are part of countless communities, families and homes around the globe. And through all of this, we are one Commonwealth family. So as we celebrate our membership with the 2.4 billion other members of our Commonwealth family, let us this year especially commit ourselves to working for the welfare and well-being, the commonwealth of all humanity. Let us together work for a more equal and equitable and more hopeful future for our Commonwealth and for our world.